sit down. So the case of the reason why we are all gathered here today is the case of the state of Massachusetts versus Abigail Williams. This is a criminal case brought by the state of Massachusetts charging the defendant Abigail Williams with involuntary manslaughter. To be convicted of manslaughter, someone must have been killed or be neglected by the accused to do something that they should have reasonably done. Abigail Williams has pled not guilty to all charges in this case. The bailiff will now swear in the jury.
Will the jury please rise and raise their right hands? Please indicate your agreement by saying, "I do." Do you swear or affirm that you will base your decision in this case solely on the evidence presented before you in this case, not allowing any prior knowledge or friendships with students, families to influence your decision? I do. Thank you. You may be seated.
Jury, the burden of proof in this case is on the prosecution. It is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The case will now follow in this order. First, the prosecutor will make an opening statement outlining the evidence to be presented on behalf of the prosecution's case. Next, the defense lawyer will make an opening statement and outlining the defendant's case. Following opening statements, the prosecutor will introduce evidence at the conclusion of the prosecutor's evidence. The defense may introduce their evidence. After all evidence has been presented, I will give the jury further instructions, after which the lawyers will make closing arguments. Then you will go back to the jury room, select a presiding juror, and decide on your verdict. Defense lawyers, can you introduce your client? Introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Derek Krogman, and I am a defense attorney for Abigail Williams, the defendant. Abigail Williams is falsely accused of
Just introduce yourself and the defendant.
My name is Derek Krogman, and the defendant is Abigail Williams.
Prosecutions, can you introduce?
I am Alex Schneiders, one of the prosecution attorneys, and I will be prosecuting Abigail Williams for involuntary manslaughter.
What is your opening statement, prosecutors?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Taya Demmer, and we are the prosecutors in this case. We are representing the state of Massachusetts against defendant Abigail Williams. In this case is about a young girl who couldn't handle her lust. She was dancing in the woods one night making love spells. After she was caught, she lied to avoid punishment. Her lies led to many innocent people being accused of witchcraft. Therefore, they were all hung. We are here to prove that Abigail Williams is guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the death of John Proctor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution will call 6 witnesses to the stand. We will call Mr. John Proctor, who is back with us today from the grave. He was a hard-working Puritan man who did everything he could to provide for his family and has done nothing to prove that he or his wife, Elizabeth, were witches. We will call Elizabeth Proctor, who will provide testimony proving that Abigail had it out for her because Abigail wanted to be with John. We will call Mary Warren next, who will testify that the girls were all lying, and their lying caused John Proctor's death. Then we will call Tituba, who will testify that Abigail manipulated her into casting love spells in the woods that night. Rebecca Nurse will also be called, and she will testify that she was greatly respected among the community, and she was wrongfully accused, just as John Proctor was. Finally, we will call Reverend Hale, who will explain that when he came to Salem, he saw a young woman seeking attention and revenge by wrongfully accusing their elders. The defendant, Abigail Williams, knew that Tituba, who was from Barbados, would be an easy person to accuse of being a witch. After accusing her, the accusations got out of hand. They went so far as accusing John Proctor, who eventually died by the rope. At the conclusion of this case, we would ask you to find the defendant, Abigail Williams, guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Thank you.
You may begin your instruction of the witness. No? You can do your opening statements.
Hi, my name is Derek Krogman, and I am a defense attorney for Abigail Williams. The defendant, Abigail Williams, was falsely accused of involuntary manslaughter in regards to the death of John Proctor. At the conclusion of this case, we ask the jury for a verdict of not guilty. We will prove that the people in power gave vulnerable Abigail Williams, a 17-year-old girl who had witnessed her parents' murder as a toddler and who was manipulated by a man over twice her age, a position with more power than she could handle. Our first witness, Reverend Paris, and as you know, reverends are the most powerful people in the community, will prove that he was obsessed with his image and popularity in the town, and that he brought a spotlight upon these false claims in hopes to improve his image and popularity within the town. This fueled his drive to manipulate a vulnerable Abigail Williams. In addition, greedy Reverend Paris had a vendetta with John Proctor because he had things he refused to give him. Our next witness, Thomas Putnam, will prove that he is a wealthy yet greedy farmer who is willing to manipulate others in order to grow his land. He even bought John's land after his death. Our third witness is Ann Putnam. She asserts her power as a wealthy woman and uses that to avenge the death of her 7 children. Our fourth witness is Deputy Governor Danforth, and he will prove he was protecting his reputation, which is why he didn't stop the trials. The prosecution did everything right by telling you what you wanted to hear, but there is much more to the story that will make you realize there is not enough evidence against our client for her to be convicted.
Prosecutors, you may introduce your witness.
Our first witness is John Proctor.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
Good afternoon, John. How are you today?
I'm good.
That's good. So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a farmer.
Who lives with you on your farm?
My wife Elizabeth, my 2 kids, and Mary Warren.
How long have you known the defendant, Abigail Williams?
I've known her for 2 years.
Where did you guys meet?
Well, she was my worker until I let her go 7 months ago.
What are some things that she did for you?
She did all the household chores.
Can you describe your relationship with her?
It was good at first, but we had to let her go after I had an affair with her.
So, do you regret this affair you had with her?
Yes,
Why do you regret it?
because I'm a good man. And it was a bad decision.
Is that what caused you to let her go?
Yes.
How did she react after you let her go?
She was mad.
Did you hear about Abigail and the other girls in the woods making love potions?
Yes.
Were they about you, do you think?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. She is leading.
Sustained.
Do you believe that Abigail would try to make love potions to get you to love her?
Yes.
What sacrifices would she make to be with you?
I believe she would falsely accuse people of witchcraft.
What is the punishment if somebody was dancing and making love potions?
They would be whipped
So why would Abigail confess to seeing witches and being there in the woods?
because she didn't want to get whipped.
Did Abigail see this as a way to get rid of Elizabeth so she could finally be with you?
Yes.
When you are in court, who is the one who denied that they were faking?
Can you repeat the question?
When you were in court that day, who was the one who denied that they were faking? Who, told the judge that the girls were faking?
Objective, Your Honor. That is a vague question.
Overruled. The prosecutor can be more specific.
So, Is it true that Abigail came to visit you in jail that day?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
She wanted to flee with me to Barbados.
What did you say back?
I told her I would rather meet her in hell than on a ship.
Has Abigail ever confessed to you that she was lying about citizens being witches?
Yes.
Would you, breaking up with Abigail, have caused Abigail to become upset with you?
Yes.
Did she say she would ever stop lying?
No.
Are one of those people who she falsely accused your wife?
Yes.
That's all. Thank you.
Defense.
Hi John, how's it going today?
Good.
What's your profession again?
I'm a farmer.
Are you married?
Yes.
Have you ever felt like your marriage wasn't working?
No.
Describe your average day with your wife, John. Like what are some daily things that you guys do?
Well, I pray a lot. And I eat.
No, what specifically with your wife? I mean, do you guys share a lot of time together?
I would say the average amount.
Okay. Would you say your relationship's lacking kind of a powerful, rebellious feel?
No.
No. Would you ever commit adultery to kind of have more power in the community?
Not for those reasons.
What reasons?
Not to have more power.
Have you ever had an affair, John?
Yes.
Okay. Is that because you're not happy with your marriage?
No.
Why would you engage in such a crime then?
It was a mistake.
How old are you again?
Old enough.
Can you be more specific?
40 or so.
40 years old. How old are you? What?
About the same.
About the same. How important is church to you?
Very important.
Do you attend regularly?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
About how many times a year do you think you go?
A lot.
A lot. Do you have any grudges against the Reverend?
Yeah.
The Paris family? What are some of those grudges and why?
He's a bad man.
Why?
Because
Can you be more specific?
he's obsessed with money and power.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you think it's easy to manipulate people? Especially people younger than you?
No.
Would you be willing to manipulate someone if you got you something you desperately wanted?
No.
How do you know Abigail Williams?
She worked for me and my wife.
Why'd you have an affair? What'd she do around the house? So you had an affair with Abby too? With Abby?
It's a little louder, sorry, it's kind of hard to hear you.
You had an affair with Abby?
Yes.
Okay. Did that relationship ever get sexual at any point?
Yes.
Why'd you do it?
I was not thinking.
Is it safe to say Abby has a lot of power behind her? She has a lot of contacts with powerful people?
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of thought, if I had an affair with Abby, that would give me more power in the community?
No.
No. John, you're a pretty big and strong farmer, right?
Yes.
Abby's pretty small and naive. Right?
No.
No. So is it safe to say Abby would have been an easy target for you to manipulate to get more power?
In what ways?
That you had an affair with her so you wanted more power?
No.
Throughout the community? No. Nothing further?
Prosecuting, who is your next witness?
I call Elizabeth Brocker to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God.
I do.
You may be seated.
Mrs. Proctor, do you follow a faithful life?
Yes.
Do you pray often?
Yep.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Then, do you still go to church regularly?
Not lately, no.
Okay. So, is there any reason why you wouldn't go to church?
I don't agree with Reverend Paris.
So then if it wasn't for Reverend Paris, would you still go to church on a regular basis?
Yes.
And do you get along with Abigail Williams?
No.
Objection, Your Honor. He's leading information.
Are you
Yes or no questions?
sustained? You cannot lead to information.
Did your husband ever have an affair with Abigail?
Yes.
Did Abigail ever visit after you let her go 7 months ago?
No.
Do you feel like those feelings led to Abigail having ill intent towards you?
Yes.
Then how would Abigail feel if you were out of the picture and it was just John?
Happy and relieved.
And then has John ever looked back at Abigail and ever thought that he wishes he was still with her?
No.
And then what was found in the poppet after you have been accused of witchcraft?
A needle.
Had you known that there was a needle in that poppet?
No.
Then who accused you of being a witch?
Abigail.
When the authorities came to your house, what did they find that led them to convict you?
A needle.
The needle that you said you didn't know was there. And who gave you that poppet?
Mary Warren.
Had you ever tried to inflict harm on anyone in the past?
No.
Had you ever broken the law?
No.
Then who did Abigail want to kill?
Me.
Thank you. That's all.
Defense.
Okay, Elizabeth. Did you know about the affair John had with Abigail?
Yes.
How did these two get to this status? Is it wrong of your husband to be taking advantage of someone half his age?
Yes.
What was the relationship like in your eyes?
Not right, I guess.
Was your relationship with John affected at all by this affair?
No, not long. No.
You just forgave it?
Yeah, I did.
If you knew about it, then why did you lie and say John is indeed innocent of adultery in front of the court?
Because I know he's a good guy.
But you lied, right?
Yes.
After court, why didn't you encourage John to sign his name and confess to witchcraft so he could live?
Because I wanted to leave the decision up to him, because he should know what's right.
Was it because you wanted him to have a good reputation?
Yes.
So your husband's reputation was more important than life itself?
Yes. I guess.
Thank you for your time.
You may be seated. Anyone else, prosecutors?
I would like to call Mary Warren up to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Really loud up there.
Good afternoon, Miss Warren. Do you work for the Proctors?
I do.
And how long have you been working with the Proctors?
7 months.
And do you respect the Proctors? Do you feel like they're good people?
Yes.
Have they been treating you well?
Yes.
And why did you start to work for the Proctors?
Because Abigail Williams was let go.
And then you felt you had an opportunity to get a job?
Yes.
How do you know Abigail Williams?
I know her from the community. You could say that we're friends.
Did she ever intimidate you?
Yes.
Has she ever threatened you?
Yes.
Was it a verbal threat or a physical threat?
Verbal.
And what did she tell you?
She told me and other girls that if we told anyone about us dancing in the woods, she would come after us.
That is pretty threatening. And then, were you dancing with her in the woods along with other girls?
Yes.
Were you or any of the other girls in the woods naked during that time?
Yes.
Were you guys performing love spells?
Yes, we were.
And were you involved in the court hearings?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Were you ever bored during that time?
Yes.
Objection. Relevance.
Can you please get to the point, prosecutor?
What did you do when you were bored?
I made a puppet for Elizabeth Proctor.
And after you were done making the puppet, what did you do with the needle?
I stuck it in the doll for safekeeping.
Could anyone see you stick the needle in the doll?
Yes, Abby was sitting right next to me when I made it.
And then could Abigail have used that to her advantage and strike herself to pretend it was Elizabeth?
Yes.
Do you believe Abigail was lying when she accused Elizabeth?
Yes, she was.
And did you believe the other girls were lying when they accused other people?
Yes.
Why do you say they're lying?
Because they were all... They're all intimidated by Abigail.
And then did it ever change? What was it after that?
It ended up just getting back at everyone in the community.
So you say that people could lie because of revenge?
Yes.
Then who has done it? Who has lied because of revenge, do you feel?
Abigail.
And who did she do it to?
Elizabeth Proctor.
Why do you think that?
Because she was still in love with John Proctor.
And do you think that Abigail is a leader to the other girls, that the other girls would also lie to follow Abigail's example?
Yes, they would.
So are the other girls also just as afraid of Abigail?
Yes.
Mary, have you ever accused someone for being a witch?
Yes.
Who was it?
John Proctor.
Why did you accuse John Proctor of being a witch?
Because I had no other option. I was intimidated by Abby.
So then, if you say you were intimidated, do you truly believe that John actually is a witch?
No, I don't.
Thank you. That's all I have time for.
Defense.
Mary, how long have you worked for the Proctors?
7 months.
Would you say that you're a loyal servant to them?
Yes, I am.
What does loyalty mean to you?
I do what they ask me to do in their household.
Do you care about John and his family?
Yes.
Do you care about John in a romantic way?
No, I do not.
If you believe you are loyal to John, why would you accuse him of witchcraft?
Because I was intimidated by Abigail.
But don't you have the right to make your own decisions?
Yes, I do.
Then why would you accuse him?
because she has threatened me and multiple of the other girls.
But you still have the right to stick up for yourself and people you care about, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Nothing further.
I would like to have a few more words. And so, she says that you have the right to choose your own decisions. Did you feel truly in yourself that you could have made those decisions yourself? Or do you feel that you had no other choice?
Objection, Your Honor. That is a compound question.
You may only, sustained, you may only ask one question per question. One thing per question.
Do you believe that the reason you accused John is because that you had no other option?
Yes.
That is all. Thank you.
One more question. Whose life is more important to you, yours or John Proctor's?
John Proctor's.
Prosecutors, next witness.
I'd like to call Giles Corey to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God? Yes.
So, how long have you been working for the Proctors?
A long time.
What would you do for them around the farm?
Help them out.
Like doing what?
Whatever they needed.
What is your opinion of John over the years working with him?
He is a good guy.
Have you had very many run-ins with the Putnams over your years with working with John?
Yes.
What was your opinion of them?
All they wanted was land.
What did you know of the girls accusing people of witchcraft?
That they're lying.
Could you further on that, or explain on that?
They're making the whole thing up.
Is there anyone in this room that has made a false accusation?
Yes.
Who?
Putnam's daughter.
Did you say you don't have a very clear recollection of the events?
Yes.
That's all.
Giles, you've been in jail a lot, right?
Yes.
What were some of the reasons you were in jail for? Do you remember some of the many felonies you committed? End up in jail? Safe to say your judgment could be impaired on this decision because of your low status in the community, and being in jail so many times?
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant.
It's relevant. That's a false accusation.
She's not the objector, did she do that?
Last. Overruled. You may. Just get to the point. Someone.
Giles, why should we trust you if you've been in jail so many times?
Because I'm a good person.
But you've been in jail so many times. Why? Why should we trust you? Should we not?
I think you
should.
It's kind of hard to do when you've been in jail so many times. Nothing further, nothing further.
Next witness.
We call Crucible to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Really loud, guys. Hard to hear you back here. Tuba? Where are you from?
Barbados.
Why are you here in Salem?
Well, I'm a slave.
Who are you a slave for?
Reverend Paris.
Do you get along with Reverend Paris?
Not really.
How come you guys don't get along?
He whipped me.
How come he whips you?
He wanted me to admit to being a witch.
Are you actually a witch?
No.
So your confession was a lie?
Yes.
If he didn't threaten you, would you have answered honestly?
Yes.
What did you do to make him accuse you of being a witch?
They were caught dancing in the pool.
Why were you dancing and singing with the girls in the woods?
We were having fun.
Were you forced to make love potions in the woods?
Yes, Abigail manipulated me into doing it.
Who did Abigail make the love potions for?
John.
So why did you do it for her?
I was intimidated by her.
So she's threatened.
Yes.
When you gave your confession, you were being whipped, right?
But
Who was whipping you?
Reverend Paris.
Would you say Reverend Paris has a lot of power and control in this community?
I guess.
Nothing further.
You may be seated. Do the prosecutors have any more witnesses?
We call her to the stand, Rebecca Nurse.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
What is your relationship with Abigail like?
Not very good because she's older.
Louder. Do you know John Proctor very well?
A little bit.
Do you think Abigail would do anything to get together with John Proctor?
Yes.
Is it true that you are considered to be a good Puritan?
Yes.
You go to church every Sunday?
Yes.
You pray every day?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Perfectly fine questions.
Is it true that the townspeople look up to you, look up to your family?
Yes.
How do you feel you are socially ranked in town?
Pretty high.
Would you say your family has an influence within this town?
Yes.
Who would you say is the leading person in making accusations on others of witchcraft?
Abigail.
Has Abigail ever wrongly made an accusation?
Yes.
Against you.
Everyone.
So why were you accused of being a witch?
Because Anne does not like me.
But you're a good person.
Yeah, but she thinks that I murdered her kid.
Why would she think that you murdered your kid?
Because mine all live and hers don't.
But everyone looks up to your family. and you're a good Puritan?
She's jealous.
Was it because of Abigail that you got accused?
Yes.
No further questions.
Fence.
Are you said to be a woman of good faith?
Yes.
Did you believe any of the witchcraft accusations?
No.
Did you feel that they were made up and simply lies?
Yes.
So you saw witchcraft cases to be nothing but made up and didn't take them seriously?
Yes.
Did you walk out of one of the witchcraft trials because you thought the accusations were simply fake?
Yes.
So you didn't get very involved in the witchcraft trials, did you?
I did. I stood up against them.
By walking out, how were you standing up against them?
By saying that it's a waste of time.
Did you develop any relationship with Abby throughout the witchcraft trials?
No.
So therefore you do not have a relationship with Abby of any kind?
No.
So you're a good woman, but you don't really pertain to this case at hand, do you?
Yes.
In what ways? Do you pertain to this case in any way?
Not really.
That's all.
This case is about witchcraft, correct?
Yeah.
And you were accused of witchcraft, correct? Who accused you of witchcraft?
And but no.
But who started accusing people of
Abigail.
witchcraft? So if Abigail wouldn't have accused people of witchcraft, none of this would have started.
Correct.
Next witness.
We would like to call Reverend Hale.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do. May we see it?
Hello, Reverend Hale. Where are you from?
Beverly, Massachusetts.
What did you do in Beverly?
I was the reverend there.
Were there witches in Beverly?
Yep.
How did you guys handle them?
We did the same court.
Why did Paris call you to come to Salem?
There were possible witches here.
What did you see when you came to Salem?
Crazy ladies.
When you first arrived, who seemed to be bewitched?
Tituba and Abigail.
Did the other girls seem to be bewitched?
Yes, a little bit.
What gave it away to you that they were not bewitched?
Well, every time Abigail would do something, they would follow her.
When said girls accused Elizabeth, did you believe them?
No.
Within your visit, what did you find?
I found a poppet.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thanks.
Reverend Hale, you had witches in your hometown, correct?
Yep.
And you got rid of them through the same process that they were doing in Salem.
Yep.
And Reverend Parrish called you to help find the witches in Salem, right? He
Yep.
looked up to you, figured that you were very good at what you did. In the beginning, you thought that there was witches, and by the end, you think it was all a hoax and that there was nothing.
Yep.
Which means you changed your mind, correct?
Yep.
So now, if you change your mind and you go from thinking Abby's right and that there is witches to thinking Abby's a liar and there is no witches, you're lying either in the beginning or at the end, correct?
I believed in what I thought.
But if you changed your mind and you're very good at finding witches, either you're lying about there being witches in the first place or you're lying about there being witches at the end. Correct?
Sure.
Which makes you a liar, correct?
No.
You just said you were.
I was wrong.
same as a liar. And would you agree that you can't trust liars in court?
Yes.
Therefore, thank you.
Defense, would you like to question any witnesses?
Would like to call Betty Paris.
We can't hear you.
Would like to call Betty Paris to stand.
You have to go really loud.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do. Maybe seated.
How's it going today, Betty? Pretty good. How old are you?
10.
What's your family life like?
I live with my father, Reverend Paris, and my cousin, Abigail Williams.
Where's your mom in that picture?
She is no longer with us.
Sorry to be lost. How did you lose your mom?
She was killed.
So would you say Abby kind of stepped in and acted as a role model figure for you throughout your childhood?
I do.
She's been like a sister to you.
Yes, very much so.
So you look up to Abby?
I do.
Would you want to be like Abby at all, ever?
I do want to be like Abby.
Do you frequently do things with Abby, like attend events with Abby?
Yes.
So you were present the night the girls all gathered in the forest and danced?
I was.
That's fun. Who did you go with?
I went with Abigail and the two and a whole bunch of other girls.
Did Abby make you go?
No.
Did you go because you looked up to Abby and kind of wanted to be like her?
Yes.
Do you do a lot of things to try and copy Abby?
Yes, I want to be like Abby.
It's safe to say you trusted her a lot?
Yes, I trust Abby.
If you disliked someone that Abby disliked, would you dislike them?
Yes.
If someone manipulated Abby into thinking something false, would you go along with it because Abby did?
Probably.
What was Abby's relationship like with the more powerful people in the community? Did she communicate with them frequently?
Yes, and she lived with me, which the Reverend, my father. They kind of got into it, but she communicated with them quite a bit.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Did you trust the people Abby trusted that were powerful that she communicated with?
Yes.
Why did you trust them?
Because Abby trusted them.
Have you ever thought that you and Abby were maybe being taken advantage of by someone of power?
Yes.
Would Abby ever take advantage of you?
No.
Is that because you guys are like sisters?
Yeah.
Like family? Nothing further.
Prosecutors.
So, what made you look up to Abby as a person, as a sister? When my mom passed and her parents got killed, she came into my life and acted as a role model to me.
So as a role model, sometimes you could be blinded to see things that the person does wrong, am I correct?
Yes.
So say if Abby was going out and accusing people of being something that they're not, you might look and see that she's right, am I correct?
Maybe.
That's all.
I don't know. You know you're both pretty young, right?
Yes.
So it's easy for young people to be manipulated?
Yes.
By people? Yes. Nothing further.
Any other witnesses, defense?
We'd like to bring Thomas Putnam to the stand.
Really loud. Really loud.
swear to tell the whole truth?
Ah,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do.
you may be seated.
Good evening, Thomas. What is your profession?
I'm a farmer.
How would you describe your life as a farmer?
Pretty good.
Well, do you own a lot of land?
Yes, I try to own as much as I can.
So, do you have any desire to own more land?
I try to own as much as I can.
Why is that important to you?
More land means more money.
Why is wealth important to you?
More money means more power.
Would you do anything to grow your land?
Yes.
I've been told George Jacobs was in your grandfather's will. Does this upset you that Jacobs would get your grandfather this land instead of yourself?
Yes, I was jealous.
Your daughter accused Jacobs of witchcraft. Did you force her to accuse Jacobs?
Yes,
Why?
because I wanted that land.
So when Jacobs were to die, you wouldn't hesitate to buy it?
Not at all.
How would you describe your relationship with John Proctor?
Kind of rough. He's always on my land.
I heard he was cutting wood on your property the other day. How did that go over?
I yelled at him and had a few words with him.
In the beginning of Act 3, it was brought to my attention that you told Proctor that you would kill if he stepped foot on your property to cut wood again. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Why would you say that?
Because he's not supposed to be on my land.
So you would agree there's hostility between you two?
Absolutely.
And earlier, you said you'd be willing to do anything to grow your land. Am I right?
Yes.
Proctor is dead now. Would you admit it may seem suspicious to others that you bought his land immediately after your dispute with him?
Yes.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying. One day you're in an argument, the next day he's dead. Do you see why this might be significant?
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Prosecutors.
What makes you say that he was on your land? Did you have a right to that land, or was it his land?
It was my land.
Do you believe that Rebecca Nurse was responsible for the death of your 7 children?
Yes.
Would that give you a reason to be mad at her?
Yes, I think anybody would be mad if their children died.
So Ruth is your last alive daughter, am I correct in saying?
Yes.
So Ruth is a teenager, am I correct?
Yes.
Does she always listen to what you say?
No, she's a typical teenager.
So if you would say, go out and accuse said person, do you think she can actually go out and do that?
Possibly.
But then again, there's always that factor of her not wanting to do it, am I correct?
Yes.
Case rests.
Mr. Putnam, I just wanted to point out that if he were to die the next day, he was also jailed before that and also accused of being a witch. Could you have easily accused John of being a witch? Because what it sounds like to me is that Mary Warren was the reason he got in jail. Right?
Yes. Objection, Your Honor. That is an opinion, and it is also character evidence. Evidence that has not been introduced to the courtroom.
Overruled. They clearly have. I asked Mary Warren all this stuff.
Which one?
The evidence that has been in the courtroom of asking Mary Warren.
That's not what I...
And that was your second, that was your evidence one.
But the prosecutor cannot express his opinion, only expert witnesses can, or expert witnesses can express their opinion. He doesn't look like an expert witness to me.
Sustained, oh.
So, Mr. Putnam, if the defendants are trying to make it seem like you are the reason that John Proctor is dead, shouldn't there be more proof to show it? Because what I'm seeing right now is that from what we already know, Abigail has threatened and intimidated Mary Warren, which led to John Proctor being accused of witchcraft and eventually death. Nowhere during all of that were you ever involved with Abigail talking to Mary Warren, correct?
I was not involved with Abigail and Mary Warren, correct?
Thank you, that is all.
I'd like to call Ann Putnam to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
I do.
Ann, are you married?
Yes, I am.
Who's your husband?
Thomas Putnam.
Does Thomas come from a family of wealth?
Yes, he does.
So would you agree that that wealth is important to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. How many children do you have?
Well, I've given birth to 8 kids. 7 of them have died, so I have one that's living, and her name is Ruth.
I am truly sorry about your loss. How did your 7 children die?
My 7 children died because they shriveled up in the hands of my midwives.
Would you do anything to avenge the death of your 7 children?
Yes, I would.
What exactly would you do?
I don't know exactly what I would do, but I'd surely do something because even though my kids are dead, I love them and I would do anything for them.
When Ruth didn't wake up, you immediately just assumed the devil was in her. Am I right?
Yes,
Why did you think that?
because the devil was in her.
Why do you believe the devil was in her?
Because why else would you not wake up? I know my daughter.
Okay. Did you do anything to stop the trials from going on?
No, I did not.
Why did you not stop them?
Because I believe that the trial should happen.
Do you believe in witchcraft?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because witchcraft is the reason why all my 7 babies died.
Sounds like to me that you have enough of a motive to pin this on someone lower than you.
Yes.
Nothing further.
Anne, how close are you with your daughter?
Very close.
You say you're very close, but yet when you saw her wake up, you just instantly knew that there was the devil inside her, right?
That's right.
Then if you said that you were really close with your daughter, wouldn't you, out of all things, not want to believe that she was a witch? But you seemed pretty confident that as soon as she woke up, she was a witch.
Well, just because I'm close to my daughter doesn't mean I'd lie about that. If the devil's in her, I'd say the devil's in her.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to call Judge Danforth to the stand, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
How long have you been a judge?
32 years.
Your dad was a judge, wasn't he also?
He was.
Okay. How long have you been a deputy governor?
Quite a while.
So you could say you have a lot of power throughout this community.
Yep.
Potentially enough power to make people believe things that they wouldn't normally believe.
Yes.
Okay. How important is your reputation to you?
It's very important.
Would you do anything to protect your reputation?
Yes.
Have you been in charge of many witch trials?
No.
Did you try to stop this trial from happening?
I just came in to do my job and do what they needed me to do.
Why did you not try to stop it?
Because I thought that it was a big deal because everybody agreed with the 12 children that agreed with Abby. Nobody disagreed with her.
Do you think your presence made this trial a bigger deal?
Yes.
Do you believe in witchcraft?
Yes.
Why did you hang all those people?
Because I was just trying to do my job and I found them guilty.
Nothing further.
Remind me again, Mr. Danforth, how long have you been a judge?
Long time, 32 years.
So you would know what you're doing, correct?
Yep.
So then, do you think that you brought justice to the people whom you've convicted?
I do.
And then, if I were to tell you that you've been believing lies, and multiple lies, would you believe it?
No.
Well, I have already proved today that Abigail Williams has been lying to you about the people that she is accused of being witches. Those people have been sentenced to death for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And I understand you trying to do your job, sir. You could have very easily shown that he or she has been more proof to being a witch. But you just believed those lies that the girls were
Objection.
teaching you.
That was an opinion. Bryce hasn't answered that question. You guessed. You're the judge, you should know this.
I've picked them up a long time.
Those lies that these girls have been committing had led John Proctor to his death. But you did have the chance to let Mr. Proctor go. If you remember that day when you asked him to sign a paper allowing him to go free, but he wanted your opinion and your say that he said himself he was a witch.
Objection, Your Honor, that is a hearsay opinion. The lawyer is going by the he said, she said. That is not followed unless an exception. Brody, come on.
And now, John Proctor you said to John Proctor that you wanted him to sign a paper and have it written on the wall of the church that he was a witch. Is that correct?
Yes.
But he wanted you to just say it and not have to put his name on the church. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, do you not think that your word is good enough to convince the whole town that you're trustworthy?
No.
You don't. But you are the deputy governor, and you have been a judge for 32 years. Shouldn't that make you really trustworthy?
Yes.
Then, if you say that, it makes no sense why you said yourself that you are not a trustworthy person. So, do you believe, Mr. Danforth, that John Proctor would be alive if you didn't have to have him sign his name on a paper and put it on the church door?
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? But all John Proctor had to do is just confess to being a witch, which he did. And he just wanted for you to say that to the town. But you didn't agree to that. You wanted him to put his name on the church door so that all of the town could see it.
Objection, that's an opinion.
Sustained. This entire time you've been giving your opinion, your overlay of what you think of what he has been doing. Thank you. It's not in your way of giving your opinion yet, and you must give evidence. Yes, sir. Get to your point about this.
And now, Mr. Danforth, you don't believe that John Proctor would still be alive if you agreed to just say it to the town instead of putting it on the door?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, thank you.
I would like to re-examine.
Hey, we still got more.
So, would you say, if there was one person that you would look to for advice when looking for the witches, who would you say you were looking for? Which of the girls would you say was the leader?
It seemed like all the girls were backing up Abby, so I'd look towards Abby.
Thank you.
Okay. You've said this before, so I'm just going to ask again. Do you think you have a lot of power in this community?
Yes.
Potentially enough power to make people believe things they wouldn't normally believe? Okay. I have nothing further.
Any more witnesses, defense?
I'd like to call Reverend Paris to the stand.
Really loud.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help God.
Yes. What is your role in this town?
I'm the Reverend.
In our community, generally speaking, are reverends the most powerful people in a community?
Yes.
Do you think it is important for a priest to be well liked throughout the town?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that you have not been overly popular in the town in your time here?
Yes.
Would you do anything to boost your image within the town in order to be more well liked?
Yes.
Did you believe that there were witches from the start?
Yes.
Why did you call Reverend Hale into town?
To clear the witches.
Do you think that somebody's popularity in their town would increase if they did something really great for the people of the town?
Yes.
And being the one who called Reverend Hale into town, would that be something really great for your town?
Yes.
Do you think your image and popularity would boost if Reverend Hale found witches and cleared your town of them?
Yes.
So it was important that there were witches in the town.
Yes.
And you would do anything to boost your image and popularity?
Yes.
By the end of the witchcraft cases, is it true that there was a knife stuck in your front door?
Yep.
Did the knife being stabbed into the front door of your home frighten you?
Very much.
Were you somewhat scared for your life?
Yes.
When a person finds himself in a life or death situation, can it push them to do crazy things?
Yep.
For example, Could somebody create a false witch hunt in order to look like the hero if they feared for their life?
Yeah.
Is it true that you have golden candles in your church?
Yep.
Were they in the church when you got there, or did you just get them?
I just got them.
Was there anything wrong with the old ones?
No, they're fine.
Were the candles really expensive?